when you're celebrating the 5th birthday with cake, the most appropriate one for me to do is the walking stomach. Any minute now, I know I shall be eating. Ready, willing, waiting, that's my belly rumbling. I don't expect no banquet, greedy as I am, but when you leave me spoiled for choice, I'll sample all I can. A bag of crisps can be a feast till the next meal comes along. Don't worry about the leftovers, I can help with some. It's like scratching to an itch to eat for its own sake. And when I'm at the next cafe, I'll have some of that cake. I'll spare you all the details of how I pay the price, but I'll recover in good time for my favourite treat tonight. In the meantime, that is all. The time for tea is right. That's the thing with writing, it gives you an appetite. No. Yes, hello everyone. I'm going to do a joke and then I'm going to talk about how my flatmate has been annoying me. I hate mosquitoes. I hate them so much that instead of spraying myself with the repellent, I spray it directly on the mosquito and mock its subsequent isolation. My flatmate, he's quite new, he's been getting on my nerves, he keeps putting my pans away in the cupboard where they're difficult to get. And the other day I couldn't use the washing machine because he put 5 tea towels in there on a 3-hour wash. He smashed the plug socket. Yeah, he said that he was trying to plug in the iron and the plug wouldn't go all the way in, so he hit it and the whole fucking thing smashed. But there were shards all over the kitchen, so he must have really fucking lamped it. And maybe he doesn't know his own strength, but he's been going to the gym for 11 years, so he should have some idea of it by now. I know he's quite an angry guy as well, because I hear him muttering angry things under his breath. I don't know what he says, because he's from Argentina, so all the angry things he mutters are in Spanish. But they are very angry sounding. And when I do talk to him, he always tells me how lonely he is. And the sad truth is, that does not make me want to be friends with him. It sounds like he would depend on me, and I think I am too young to be depended on at the moment. I have a full-time job and everything, it's good, it's dead functional. And in the free time that I do have, I don't want to spend it making people feel better about things. And on that note, thank you.
Hello. Hello. Some of the sentiments that have been expressed earlier this evening are going to be repeated, but it's pure coincidence. What I'd like to say is that I find the title of this poem objectionable, so I'm not going to use it until the start of the 3rd verse. When discussions arise about Britain, of its whole or its various parts, there's a term that defies definition. My bile rises and resentment starts. It's not north-south divide, nor the way that postcodes can affect the provisions for health. Inner cities, the green or the stockbroker belt, urban spread, Oyster card or new wealth. But mention home counties and suddenly your audience has been reduced by 1. To you it's familiar, innocuous, cosy. My acceptance and sympathy's gone. The people who mention them aren't all that sure. Even Google, when asked, is quite vague. They're the ones next to London and one or two more. You'd have to ask Cameron or Hague. It implies that the others don't quite qualify, belong to something that's not really au fait. Is it alien? Like alien counties? Foreign counties? Slum counties? Ghetto counties? Or outside? Is it alien or foreign? Slum, ghetto? Outside? Of home, the opposite's usually away. It's several years since they outlawed home help. It's all right for home page and hometown. So let's make home counties a thing of the past and give it the big thumbs down.
Okay, so this poem's called Waxing and Waning. We start with a sphere. The whole world and everything in it condensed into one mathematical word. Precise, but without sentiment. Measured to 1/1,000,000th of a millimetre, but ultimately completely misunderstood. Indiscernible from your possiblies and your maybe-nots, or those coffee refills. That globe, under Mummy's dress, bends her elbow at a 90-degree angle, one hand inverting her crescent moon back, the other pushing hair from her asymmetrical face. Waxing and waning, her feet turn outwards as she descends the stairs. Her body parts produce opposing vectors, a balanced motion, so her unborn will bear no stress or strain. The spring constant of her laugh and smile reminds us of a much younger girl whose polka dot pyjamas have eroded the banister, smoothing out the splintered wood. One small step for man. Our thoughts satellite motion, scattering us through gold leaf, sending us into dizzying kinetics of kissing on the coast road and breathing on the dark. A steady gradient plots feeling against time as we flicker Morse code witticisms to each other at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yet our tinfoil consciences don't quite reflect our underwater ignorance. We pretend to understand and throw in facts about the empty space in atoms or the recurrence of Fibonacci's sequence in bees, fern leaves, pine cones, even say each other's names back to front. My last letter, your first, and vice versa. King and queen of spilling secrets. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm going to do a cover version of a Betjeman poem. Something that appeals to me recently, someone that's trying to escape general drudgery and hopes for serenity in the seaside. This is Harrow on the Hill. When the melancholy autumn comes to Wembley and electric trains are lighted after tea, the poplars by the stadium are trembly with their tap and whispering to me, like the sound of little breakers stretching out along the shoreline when the estuary is filling with the sea. Then Harrow on the Hill is a rocky island, and Harrow churchyards full of sailors' graves, and the constant click and kissing of the trolleybuses hissing as the level of the wheelstone turned to waves. And the thunder of the railway is the rumble of the rollers as they gather up for plunging into caves. There's a storm cloud to the westward over Kenton. There's a line of harbour lights at Perivale. Is it rounding rough Pentyre in a flood of sunset fire, a little fleet of trawlers under sail? Could those boats be only rooftops stretching out along the skyline in a race for port and Padstow with the gale. Thank you.
Hello. I wish I knew this poem off by heart, but I'm massively unprepared, and this isn't even my phone I'm reading it off, so apologies. This is about, I work for a festival in Hereford. Where's the boy from Hereford? Woo! There you are. Hi. Anyway, you have a poem about Hereford. You should do that one day.
I might do it later.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, this is another poem about Hereford, and yeah, I work for a festival there, and this is about one of the staff parties they have, which is basically where they just turn the cowshed into a drum and bass arena. Woo! No, stop. Tickets are on sale now. We've got a poetry slam actually, so have a look. Yeah, and it's about, I was meant to be staying in a car with my friend, and she went off in that car to snog a boy in the car park, so... Woo! Hereford! A very wise man once told me to stop defining myself by my sexuality. Now, he has 2 kids and was off his face on Mandy, so that certifies him as a guru to me. On that same night, a beautiful woman told me she wishes someone talked about her the way her brother talked about me. I am at home on this piece of land, this section of the world brimming with energy, people with a common cause, second families, sofas sprawled sporadically, sinking into mud, soaking up the worries of the rest of the world. I sit and stare into the faces of strangers on these second-hand cushions, like the brother, who speaks so highly of me, eyes interlocked, legs intertwined. Drunk on wine and cider, and here we are, sunrises, sunsets, inside jokes and fireworks, and thinking how I never, ever, ever want to be apart from you ever again, and how this weekend could last forever. But it won't, and I know it. And I remember last year's awkward goodbyes and this month's awkward hellos, and how they melt into tired eyes and giggles and rubbing overworked eyes, and just as it finishes like always, it will start again, but different next time. The wise man with 2 kids and a functional drug addiction also told me that what someone wants on first introductions isn't always what they'll always want. And I see the lines around his eyes can only speak from experience of breaking hearts and new starts, and I believe him. And my smile does not deceive him, and it's clear to see. God, I feel so young when he wraps me in his son's Pikachu blanket in the back of his car, the unsung hero, the natural father, who fights back a kettle because I have got toothache, supplying tramadol to soothe my pain, like buying a doll for a crying babe, the instinctive carer, taking away the weight that crushes my back, destroying my posture. And I hope he too experiences the true meaning of depending on a stranger's kindness. Thank you.
Matt Batton. So I need Matt to help me with this. Here he comes. Okay, Jibber Jabber, we're going to educate you as well as entertain you, and Matt's going to explain how.
So Johnny's going to give a lecture briefly on a topic of your choice, which will be... Friends, or another suggestion?
Charity.
Hamsters, charity.
Artisan bakery.
Artisan bakeries. Charities. Hamster charities. Throughout John's speech, I'm going to freeze him. I'm going to come to you for emotions, genres of film or TV, or anything that I just want to throw in there to try and fuck it up a little bit. So hand over to our expert for this evening, Mr. John Farthing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to talk to you today about the plight of an animal we don't really think about too much. The hamster. Little do you know that hamsters are incredibly close to extinction. Whereas last year there were 2,198,000 hamsters in the UK, that number has dropped to 2,197,000 hamsters.
Freeze! A genre of TV or film?
Horror.
Horror.
And the ones that are left are angry and seeking revenge. They're sleeping in your kids' bedrooms. They're sleeping in your living room. They're angry, vicious little fuckers. I woke up yesterday morning with a hamster crawling, his eyes glowing red in the night, ready to take a bite out of my jugular. It's true. Be afraid of the hamsters.
Freeze! An emotion, please.
Lust.
Lust.
And when I woke up, naked, with a hamster crawling over my body towards my face, I couldn't help but think, this is the sexiest thing that's ever happened to me.
Freeze! Genre of TV, please.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
And then I made the hamster my new companion, and we travelled through time and space together. Indeed, we went to the Dalek planets that I can't remember the name of. We went to Skaros, where we found out that Daleks hate hamsters, and we managed to end the Time War. We then went and fought the Cybermen together, where we found out the Cybermen really liked the hamsters and bred to create a cyber hamster hybrid. So that didn't work out quite as well.
Freeze! An emotion, please.
Sad.
Despair.
Despair.
And after the Cyberman thing didn't go well, the hamster left me. And the hamster said, I can't do this anymore, John. I just need to go back to my hay and my little food I can put in my cheeks. I just want to run in that wheel. I don't need you anymore, John. I just want to run without you. I want to run free like a hamster should. And I looked at Hammy in his eyes and I realised it was...
Freeze! A genre of film, please.
Romantic.
Porn. Slapstick porn.
I realised quite how difficult it is to fit a hamster in a condom. It was go like this, you try and get it in there, it fell over, then I slipped on the condom, fell on my arse. It was hilarious.
Freeze! One final emotion.
Delusion.
Delusion.
But I knew the hamster really wanted me.